Tired of robots telling you who you are and what you can be? Tired of algorithms deciding your credit score, where you get your news, whether you have COVID, whether you can get a job, and even whether a scan of your face proves that you're lying to the police? There's gotta be a better way to live, and that's because there is. From the Institute for Digital Humanity comes the Axis of Facts. This axis focuses on a little thing called datafication, and another little thing called messiness. Here's how it works. Algorithms claim to be smarter than humans because they turn all human knowledge into data. This is called, of course, datafication. Datafication is how algorithms turn human behavior and online interactions into numbers. Datafication is the reason algorithms are considered smarter than humans, but datafication is also what makes every algorithm wrong a certain percentage of the time. This isn't a secret. Data analysts and programmers know that their algorithms are always wrong a certain percentage of the time. They even have a word for it, and that word is messiness. With the admission of messiness, data analysts and programmers are acknowledging the people the algorithms failed, without doing anything about it. The admission is often described as the margin of error, a statistic that represents how often the algorithm fails in its purpose. The margin of error is usually quite low, which makes it seem acceptable. After all, nothing is perfect, right? But that's just it. If people accept that the algorithm has a margin of error, they're accepting that a percentage of the populace will fall through the cracks and become casualties of the machine. These small algorithmic errors can have huge consequences for people like you, but you no longer have to be harmed by messiness and datafication. Developed by the specialists at the IDH and already in use by real-world advocates, the Axis of Facts helps you identify an algorithm's error rate before it makes decisions about you and your family. The Axis of Facts is so amazing it can work everywhere. At work, at school, in your doctor's office, even in court. But don't take our word for it. Look at these totally unsolicited testimonials.
Thank you, IDH, for sponsoring this infomercial. Think back on a time where you applied for a job and unfortunately did not get. You probably started to wonder, maybe the employer thought I wasn't good enough, or maybe they found someone better. Well, what if I were to tell you that the reason you didn't get that job was because of an algorithm decided that the tone of your voice was a bit lacking, or your facial expression was a bit dull? According to shrm.org, quote, some vendors in the human resource industry have long used facial analysis technology to help evaluate video interviews with job candidates. These artificial intelligence tools scan facial expressions and movements, word choice, and vocal tone to generate data that help recruiters make hiring decisions. End quote. However, the facial recognition algorithm is not completely factual most of the time. That makes some misjudgments. In fact, again, according to shrm.org, quote, experts say that if these facial analysis algorithms aren't trained on a large or diverse enough data sets, they're prone to consistently identify some applicants, such as white men, as more employable than others. Wow, just imagine, you could be sitting in your dream job right now, doing the things that you love. Instead, you're stuck at a job you hate. Thanks, algorithms.
Stop worrying about datafication and messiness. Join the millions or dozens of customers who have already partnered with the IDH for a bipartisan solution to algorithmic unreliability. Here at the IDH, we can make the fight against algorithms much easier because who better to fight robots than robots disguised as humans?